Shout out Bruce Gas, aka Toka too. You know I had to drop a track for my boy.
Hey, where you at?
Yeah, tapping in harassing boys out here telling favors. I'm the hardest young nigga, I'm trapping on the label. Hey, Bruce Gas putting them fights on the table. Calling that Boston since Kane versus Abel. Smoking so much gas, you would think that shit was fatal. On the people's champion like Muhammad Ali. Shout out Bruce Gas, one day we gon' meet. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, we gon' smoke hella weed. Yeah, we gon' blow it down, take a hit out the Toka too. Slipping hella shots, feel like Tyson with the Pika. Little Glock on my side, but it hit just like Isaac Cruz. Shout out Mad Chad, real shit, that's my fucking dude. We always cooking on the panel. Strapped to my side, I ain't talking about no sandals. Bruce passed me the button, I'ma light it like a candle. Ayy, non-stop bars, man, I always spit flames. Feel like Bruce Gas always got a different strain. Bitch, you ain't like me, you can never feel my pain. You win and you lose, well, this the fight game. Don't beef on the net and the shit won't change. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the game. Said that on the stream, gotta do it for the chat. I ain't undisputed, yeah, hold on, I ain't undisputed, but I want all the straps.
I ain't undisputed, yeah. That's it. That's the end. This is Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. Christopher De Niro, thank you, cats, for stopping in here. Kind of an unusual show, but aren't they all? Aren't they all? You kind of light down in here. It's a little bit bright. Kind of streaking on my eyeballs here. I got a phone call. Let me see who this is. Hello. Who is it? Hello. I got a phone call, but nobody's answering on the other side. Hello.
Bruce.
There he is. I hear you, Leon.
Bruce Gas, one of the greats.
That's what we want to hear, man.
Oh, Bruce Gas. What a day. We're going to remember the great late light heavyweight champ of the world, the great Archie. What a great fighter he was. What a great champion. Through all the struggles of the 30s and the 40s, from town to town, he persevered and became a world champion. What a great comeback fight up in Canada that night in 1956. How you doing, champ? Shout out to the Bruce Gas people.
I appreciate it, Leon, man. And let me shout out to Paul Driscoll's in here, De Niro Sports is in here, Christopher's in here. We got about 10 people in here so far, and this is like I wasn't really prepared for this, Leon. A Monday night show, and we said we were going to do it, but then I didn't hear from you today, and hey, what's happening in the world of boxing, my brother? I mean, you're the man that you're the other man was ear to the grindstone. You know everybody out there.
Well, in boxing, a lot of things happen, a lot of things coming up. You got a couple shows coming up in New York, end of the month. Larry Goldberg with the legendary matchmaker in Times Square, a Christmas show that benefits the homeless kid with Larry Goldberg and Eric Boxer. You got a show at the 23rd Arena in Philadelphia with the Boxing View. So then you got January Top Rankers coming back to New York. We got a lot to be thankful for. A lot of shows are coming back, and then we got the big show March 1st, Tank Davis at the Barclays Center. So there's a lot on the horizon, Bruce.
What are you thinking about that Tank Davis fight at the Barclays Center? Who's this kid that he's fighting?
Well, he's fighting the kid out in D.C. Fighting the street kid that don't care nothing about him, ready to go to war. But this kid here, to me, he's a head case. He'll go to war with Tank. In the ring or in the streets, he'll go to war with me. He's one of them kind of kids. You got to do it to me, or I'll do it to you. He ain't coming in scared. So it is what it is. I don't know who got this kid, Bruce. I was going to ask you who had this kid. But I know from what my contacts tell me to tell your people that's listening, that it's a co-promotion. It's not all PVC by itself. That's what I'm hearing in the streets, that it's a co-promotion.
You think
I
Tank?
don't know who got the other half.
You think
I don't know.
You think this kid has a chance against Tank?
Bruce, anybody have a chance on any fight on any given night. If you go back 40-some years, if you go back to 1978, who thought Leon Spinks had a chance against Ali?
That's true, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Who thought that Randy Tubman had a chance the first time against Ray Robinson? Who thought that Ray was going to come back and beat Tommy September 16, 1981 on the Thursday night? Who thought that? So we never know what's going to happen in the ring.
well,
We also know, you got to keep in mind, Bruce, and your listeners, the lifestyle that Tank lives. Sometimes the lifestyle catch up with you. Like his lifestyle with Earl Streets caught up with him. In Las Vegas with the great Bud Crawford. So you never know. From what I understand, this kid got a lot of heart. And all of my nation down in D.C., this kid got a heart like Simon Brown and Maurice Blocker. He gonna bring it on.
man, I hope so. I remember that fight, Simon Brown and Maurice Blanca. They were like roommates, weren't they?
No, they was in the same gym. That fight happened March 1991 on the undercard of Tyson Razor Reddick 2.
And man, that was the war of the card. That was a back and forth, no holds barred.
I mean, them guys fought to the end.
That's it,
So
man.
a lot of people, and maybe a lot of your listeners, I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna open for questions. A lot of people you and I know, they give Tank too much credit. He's a good puncher, but he's not a good boxer. If you got a guy with a good chin that can box and move, then I'll box this kid. Not saying they'll get the decision, but Bruce, a throwback in the day, Saul Manning would beat him with a punch in the death. Mancini would kill him.
How about Shakur Stevenson? You think he's
He's
gonna?
not that great, B. He's just a good power puncher. He leans on you and wears you down. Then he connects your power shot. Then you're done. You spent. That's my opinion of 50 years of boxing. Now, I don't know how your listeners feel. They may agree with me and they may not agree with me.
I want to see him and Shakur Stevens. The problem with me with Tank is he's not fighting any of the other champions. He's got a chance to make a big name for himself, but he chooses lesser fighters that we don't care about.
Well, Pete, he can only fight what his team brings to the table. Now, let me say this. My own partner, who you know very well, who just attained the World Euro boxing belt. Now, he don't agree with me. He thinks Tank's a great fighter. He thinks he's going to be a force of yesteryear. Like I said, you know, Bruce, I'm like you, Bruce. He's fighting no one. But I also know that politics, he can only fight what his people put in front of him.
Fact, brother.
I don't know how your listeners feel, but that's my gut feeling, and that's my experience of being in boxing 50 years with all degree.
Hey, Leon, we got somebody that's going to make a grand stage impression over here, man. You know, her dad passed away in 1998, was it? J.Marie, we got J.Marie here. J.Marie,
Yes. Hello, how are you? How are you guys?
Hey, sweetie.
A pleasure seeing you, J.Marie.
Nice talking to you again, Bruce.
So, man, how many years now since your dad passed away? Are we in the almost 40 years now?
No, not quite. Let's see. What is it?
What was it? Was it 1998?
It was 98. 98. What? Wait. And
99,
98
26
to
years. 26 years.
26. Okay.
26. Yeah. I was going to say, wait a minute. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
26
hey,
years.
Al Rahim is in here too, brother. Leon's nephew.
Oh, hello.
So,
Yes. So Bruce, I want to ask J.Marie. I want to tell her, she know that I go way back with her family. I watched the real fight today. That was one of the greatest comebacks in history. No other fighter came back like her father. May he rest in peace. He was my guy. Taught me a lot of things, me and Tommy Brooks. But what I will say to his lovely daughter, that was one of the greatest comeback fights in history. Nobody ever got knocked down many times as the late great Archie Moore did and come back and stop a guy. It's never been done as the late Coach Lewis would say, y'all. It's never been done in the history of the sport.
Yeah,
never,
you
never.
know what? You know what's really interesting also about that fight? A lot of times I'll post it on Facebook or on Instagram, and people, not everyone, but people will always say, well, if that happened today, he would have lost, because of the how many times he was knocked down. So what do you guys think?
Oh yeah. They
Well,
would never let that fight go on today. Go ahead, Leon. What do you
let me
think?
say something. Let me say something, Bruce. Let me say something because I've been around a long time. I was around during this era. I would say in certain states, certain states wouldn't let it go on because of Archie, who Archie was. Like when Larry got knocked down twice by Mike in Atlantic City, the referees gave Larry a third chance because they know Larry had been knocked down before and J.Marie came back and stopped people. I disagree. I agree with J.Marie, but I want to explain to the great Kevin Jordan that I agree with certain states for the stop him, but states like New Jersey or Pennsylvania or the old time referees that know who he was, they wouldn't stop it. They'd give him every chance in the world. Certain states. Now, I would say the bottom, Florida, they probably would have stopped it. But somewhere in
Right.
the middle,
But here's the thing. Here's the
we say
thing.
that Midwest.
Right. So here's the thing. You're looking at number one, a championship fight. Okay, and like you said, those referees back then, I don't know about today, but usually today, they know the boxers. They know the boxers. And, you're just not going to first of all, it was no standing 8 count. He was knocked down, but he wasn't knocked out. You
Yeah,
see?
yeah.
So there's no standing 8.
Yeah,
Period.
I just talked to Peter McNeely on here on Friday night, and
Oh,
and and,
okay.
and his dad boxed Floyd Patterson up in Toronto, and his
Uh,
dad got knocked down 10 times in that fight.
wow.
And I said to Peter, I said 10 times. He said, I said 10 times in his career, and he goes, no, 10 times in that fight, and and and
Gosh.
and that was in Toronto too, the same place that your dad fought Durrell. So maybe there's something about that they want you going out on
Maybe
the
it's
street.
Canada. Yeah. I think he fought him in, was it Toronto or Montreal?
Leon would
I,
know.
I think Dad fought him in Montreal, because it
Yeah,
was Darrell's
the real
hometown.
first bottom was in Montreal.
Right. Because that's
You
Darrell's hometown.
also got the look when now we're gonna move up to 1986 when Matthew Hilton won the title June 3rd, 1986
Oh,
against
oh,
Buster Gates. He knocked them down 3 times on the Don King show, but the referee gave him a chance because they knew Buster was a knockout artist from Philadelphia.
hey Leon, wait a minute. It's Matthew Hilton's birthday today. Let's give Matthew a shout out, brother.
Hey,
A
Matthew.
junior middleweight champion of my little brother from Montreal, Canada. Matthew Hilton. Have a good evening, champ.
Happy birthday.
I was with you when he was with it. So what I'm saying to answer J.Marie's question into what J.Marie said, the referees today don't know about the fighters and the fighters endurance as the referees back in those days.
Right. Right.
Now, with you, I'll say the referees start changing in the early 80s when the guys like Jack Clayton, with the guys in New York, Arthur McCanny Jr., Sr.,
Right.
when all the old guys, Jay Hudson, all them old guys, Marty Jenkins, out in California, when them old guys passed on, these new guys today, they don't study the fighters' history. They don't watch the fighters on film before they roughly won their fight. So the old fighters watch them old reels. So I agree with J.Marie to think that those guys knew the fighters. They watch them over there. They watch the other fights, so they know that they're endurance. These guys today, they so scared that they wave their hand in 2 seconds.
Right.
Let's
Well,
see a
yeah,
pro.
yeah,
Let's see
and
a pro.
exactly. And
If the
ironically,
whole fight get knocked down, then you stop the fight.
okay, right. And I was going to say, ironically, kind of segueing off until, today is the day, obviously, that my dad died 26 years ago. And tomorrow is the anniversary of the Durrell fight.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So
Y'all give me
everything just hit,
the
he,
yes, it is.
yeah, he
We
passed.
talking
He,
about we
yeah,
talking about
he passed on the
50 years.
9th. The Durrell fight was on the 10th. The 11th, I can't remember what happened the 11th, but the 13th is his birthday.
Yes, it is.
And no, I think the 11th, either the 11th or the 17th was the funeral.
Yeah. So, J.Marie, when you and I know it's a sad day for you, and I love you, me and my whole crew, and our dear friend Tommy Brooks. When I want to ask you, when you look at them fights and all the fights you've seen, I'm not saying this because I'm close to you and your sister and your family, but I got to say, and I will say, and I worked with Michael Spence for 12 years, him and side. I got to say that, in my opinion, your father would have beat them on guts. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but with the heart that he had, that they didn't have from that era. So a guy asked me the other day on an interview, who do I think? And I said, not being biased because I'm close to his daughter and I know his family. And he taught me a lot of things. And I said to the guy, he said, do you think Archie would have beat the guy that you worked for 12 years? I said, yes. So somebody called Slim up. And Slim said to me, Slim agreed. He said, Archie would have gave me problems. Because that cross arm would have gave me problems. Even Michael said that himself a lot of times. Even when we was in Atlantic City, the January 12th of the year, the guy asked me for the mic. Michael said, yeah, I believe Archie would have gave me trouble. So anytime, so I said that to say, that's what other great fighters think of your father. When you got a great guy that won a gold medal that believe your dad could have beat him because of his style, you can't say no more about your late father.
Well, I go all over the internet in the chat rooms. I listen to what they're saying. I participate, and man, if I had a nickel for every time the name Archie Moore came up, I'd have a lot of freaking nickels, man. I'll tell you. I wouldn't have enough pockets to put him in. But your dad is such a legend, and people today, they respect him. And when they get off track, I straighten them out. I say, hey,
Yeah.
me and his daughter, J.Marie, we're friends, and I'm going to tell you exactly how it went down. And,
Right.
and it gives me a good feeling to do that. And we keep the memory of Archie alive. And, shit,
Right.
that's what it's all about. And then we got Uncle Leon over here to put this whole thing together. I hope terrible
Right.
things.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You
It's
know,
great to have friends
I'll
like
say
y'all.
this, I'll say this, and I thank my partner of the World Boxing Bureau Association, Brother Ryan. I think he would agree. You know, we all love Michael St. Saad, Muhammad Kwawi, but there was no match for your father. And Michael agreed to that. Saad, when is not around to answer for himself, but Kwawi have told me the same thing. He said, I copied my style after Archie. They call from style. He said, his style would have been a problem for me. Even Michael St. Saad said that to me many times, on camera and off camera. So that's the respect that great fighters that you know of and seen for your father. Not only that, he was a great guy. Always meant, if he was at the show, he would help a guy. I told the people about the funny story that you told me that time when you went to the store and bought that, did you put that on the guy's hand? You know the story you told me, J.Marie?
Oh yeah. So Bruce, listen.
I
So
remember that story.
there was a show.
I remember that story you told me, and that showed you how he came back, because he couldn't cancel the fight, but he wanted his guy to fight. So that shows you the humanity side of your father. I can say this because he taught me a lot of stuff, opened a lot of doors for me on that West Coast that I didn't have, that Don didn't open, that your late father opened for me. So you know, I try to give gratitude to those that paved the way for me. So you know, and when you look at that fight, J.Marie and rest of the Bruce, that fight in Montreal, it gives you thrills. Don't it, J.Marie? When you walk
What,
with the grill,
Oh yeah, definitely gives you thrills. And as a matter of fact, you know, because it's the anniversary tomorrow, I'm going to come on there and show that fight, and we're gonna talk about it. And man, you know, we're just
That'd
going
be
to see.
great. Yeah. Why don't we meet tomorrow on the anniversary of the Darrell fight and let's chop it up? I mean, that's an absolute
oh,
great
you
fight
know,
to, you know.
I can't take blow by blow. As you know, me and my crew from the World Boxing Bureau, you know, as we got a show coming up in upstate New York, a world title fight, I'll come on and I'll commentate it for you. Because when I watch that fight, it brings back memories of the old time fighters, the old time referees. When the referee gave you a chance, like J.Marie said, when no standing eight count, you fought till you couldn't fight no more, unless you went out on your shield.
Yeah, because you know what I love about saying that about Dad when he fought Rocky Marciano. They wanted to call the fight. The ref wanted to call the fight, and he walked over to him and he said, "Arch, are you okay?" He says, "I'm going to call it." He said, and it almost brings tears to my eyes. He looked at the ref and he said, "I too am a champion." Because don't forget, he was still the light heavyweight champion of the world, fighting a heavyweight title. And at that time, he was ranked number 3 as a heavyweight in the world. So he told the ref, "I too am a champion. Let me go out as one."
And Archie Moore and Rocky Marciano never fought after that.
No.
Uh,
Well, he had also said in the newspaper, he says, when a light heavyweight can put me down, he said, maybe it's time for me to retire.
mm,
That's a quote.
And matter of fact, what you saying is true. Ray Arcel, who I was close to, Ray
Hmm.
Arcel, Eddie Brown, and John Conn, all the old guys at the Garden. And as we know, Bobby Goodman's father, Murray Goodman, was one of my mentors at the Garden. He said, Rocky hit him so hard when he put him down, he didn't know what was going on. But, you know, I believe if, you know, I mean, I believe he took a lot out of Rocky. As Rocky said himself, it was time to say goodbye. Because Rocky been in a lot of wars with Eddie Charles and Joe and all of them. I think Rocky You, I say the team he has left, I'm not saying this because she's here with us, but I believe as being around this game 60 years, working with all the greats, I believe your father took the last little steam out of Archie with that knockdown and with that war. I believe he
Mm-hmm.
took it out, and that's why he said what he said. That's
Out of rock.
his
Yeah.
Oh man, he came within a fraction of a hair of becoming the heavyweight champion of the world on 3 different occasions.
Yeah. I mean, but the biggest one I think was, was for the biggest one was Marciano. And, there's a lot of controversy around that. Um, because when Rocky was put down, now you can watch the fight. You can watch the fight. When Rocky was put down, you watch the referee. What is he supposed to do when a boxer goes down and then when he gets back up? What is he supposed to do? Wipe his gloves, correct?
Mm. Those were the days there were resin in the ring
yes,
too.
Right.
Raw.
Well, what he did, what the ref did was he took Rocky's gloves or hands rather by his wrists and he pulled him to him and it shook him. And if you anybody ever boxed, you know
Mm.
that if you're a little woozy from being knocked down because your brain's still floating, um, any type of anything. Remember, even smelling salt or whatever, it brings you to. It brings you back. No, go. You go watch that fight tonight, and you watch the ref pull on
you
his
know,
wrist,
J.Marie,
and you get your stopwatch out. Get your stopwatch out, and you time that count. And if you don't think it was slow, then you're not in boxing.
J.Marie, on this YouTube, you're gonna start major clashes over here. You're gonna have this group against that group, and oh, he was out. That referee woke him up, and oh man, conspiracy
but
theory.
Bruce, he's like, he
Oh,
shook,
I know
he
I'm
grabbed him,
gonna. She told us this before.
he shook him back to life. She's right. You know, I don't care nothing about them Jennies. I don't care about the Jennies. They wanted him to stay undefeated, and if you check the referee, he was a Jenny. So he took him. She's
Because
right.
they asked Daddy. They said,
If you take a fighter, why do you think when the fighter gets knocked down, in his corner, shaking or smacking? The smack the guard, smacking back the guard out of it. He's dead right.
"Yeah, I mean
If you
it."
look
They
at the
asked
record,
Dad. They
see,
asked Dad was
I never analyzed it like she said, Bruce, but she's right. He pulled Rocky up by Rocky's wrist. So
I'm gonna
when you
watch that.
grab his wrist,
yeah.
you see
Watch that, and then
it is like this.
and also the count.
And
The
we can do
count.
that now. Yeah,
The
yeah, because
count
we
was extremely slow. You know the timing when
you
you're
know,
down.
it makes so much sense, J. Marie. It's just obvious. Nobody wants to say it, but I mean, this is like the Jim Crow era.
Yeah, and I talked to the person that was in the ring.
Amazing, amazing. And I'm sure Leon must have 100 stories just like that too. The dirty shit that goes on in boxing, and that's good that we have monitors here that can see this because people today they see it going on and they think it's all brand new. They think that they're
Yeah.
pulling wool over. And I'm like, man, you got to talk to some of these chiefs.
Then you got to look at who put on the fight. See, you got to look at the promoter who put on that fight.
Okay, yes.
See, it was the Charlie Gold team, it was the Guineas in Boston and Massachusetts and to put up the money for the fight. So you have to look at who put up the fight.
Them
Well,
guineas
well,
and
you know what? And
yeah.
here's the thing: you can go back even further than that. Okay, and then these are the things that I look at, and I don't talk about it a lot with people. But when I'm watching a fight, I mean, people call me all the time. Who do you have? Who do you have? Who do you have? Well, I'm not just looking at two boxers. Okay, I back it up to who's promoting the fight, what advertisers are behind it, who the referees are, who the cornermen are. Then I get into the boxers because
Mm-hmm.
none of that happens without the major players.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
going back to that, Gillette, I believe it was Gillette or no, not Gillette, Slit Smoke Liquor wanted dad to do a commercial and they were offering him good money, but they wanted him to do a commercial, uh, you know, having a beer after training, you know, and but daddy doesn't drink, didn't drink. He didn't do any, I mean, I can't believe it sometimes. He did nothing. He didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he didn't none of that. He never touched a drug in his life. This is a clean living person inside and out. And he turned down the commercial because he didn't do it. And he said he did not want young boys to think that was the way a champion should behave. And I know that a lot of champions drink and contenders and so on and do a lot of stuff, you know. Um, and there's very few clean, what I call clean boxers. And but anyway, so they were sponsoring the fight and he turned down the commercial. Okay. Then you go to, like I said, then you go to the promoters, you go to the referee. Like you said, it's during the Jim Crow era, things happen, you know, and then, of course, the corners, they're all into it. And these aren't people that, switched corners like they do today. Oh, I don't have a second. Oh, use this person or what have you. These are people that have been there in the trenches who
Excellent.
cannot be bought, who cannot be bought, you know, and just like the Floyd Patterson controversy behind that. Well, we'll get into it another time. And like when you're showing the Floyd Patterson fight, give me a call. We'll talk about it. We'll chop it up. But anyway, back to that fight. So you had to look at all the major players. And with any fight, if you look at the major players and then make your decision, you'll come out ahead because you know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like you saying, Bruce, in those days, I can talk about it. I don't care about them getting. But Frankie Kaba put up the money. And we all know who Frankie Kaba was.
Frankie Cabo.
He
Oh yeah.
ran the show back then. Frankie Kaba. And him and Ricky Belambo. Ricky was one of the guys I knew well. With Miles Lance, and I know them all. Those were the players. Those players, they had all the referees in their pocket, all the judges in their pocket. So, I mean, what chance do we have to be the golden boy? The golden boy that be the washed up great round mama. So, even he helped Joe, took care of Joe and him and Frank Sinatra, he was told that he had to fight Joe. I mean, this is what Joe has said to me and Don said, me and Butch Lewis, Rick Butch Lewis. So the players in that day and time was the players today are more a bunch of corporate lawyers. Like he said, a lot of those guys in those days, a lot of those dignified guys could be bought. These corporate lawyers today, you can buy them with a hot dog or put a young girl in front of the face, you already bought. So that's my opinion. Today, these commissions are the worst commissions in the world than the commissions back then.
Mm-hmm. And the deeper you go, the more shit you find. It's kind of like life in general. You have to peel the onion back layer by layer to really get to the heart of it. And then when you see it, it starts to make sense.
If you look at what she's saying, today you can scream, but I don't want this to say a referee that you and J.Marie all of us know, J.Marie, say we don't want J.Marie. So say he's doing a world title fight, but the idea is to leave. We can go
That's
to we down
crazy.
because we don't want this guy. Either
Yeah.
down said you got to keep him, or either down remove him. But they didn't have that back in those
No,
days.
you get what you
Whoever,
get.
you know,
You get what you
whoever on the
got.
world, Say, well, referee, that's a referee. The only good thing about it today, you can get rid of a referee today that you couldn't get rid of yesteryear. Say back in the 70s, we wanted to get rid of, we wanted to get rid of the great Archie mechanic. Because, who did Ali, who did the Rum in the Jungle. See what I'm saying? So you have to write, we can peel, like you said just now, Bruce, we can peel the layers off of these guys now.
Yeah, Zach Clayton, that was the Rumble in the Jungle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Zach was a funny guy. I know him well. He was a funny guy.
No,
but it's also, you got to look at today's organization. Even with our organization, World Boxing Bureau, RBF, NABF, it depends on who referees for these guys. So, I mean, you got to have guys that have secondary. Like J.Marie said, you got to have guys that can be bought that's going to do what is right. So a lot of guys,
I mean, there's a lot of good referees, honest, I mean, that I like, Tony Weeks, Bayless Brothers, so on, and things like that. And there's another, I think his name is Bill, but they're fair, like Miles used to say, firm but fair. Oh no, that's Joe Cortez, firm but fair.
Joe, you and I, no one, we knew the father, and J.Marie, you heard of his father. Ryan, you probably heard of his father. Arthur McCanny Jr. His son was no near as good as his father. Junior got there in that high position doing a lot of world title fights because on his father's name. But Junior made a lot of mistakes, a lot of fighters. They like Robert Bird. I don't care too much for Robert Bird. And I'm not a fan of Richard Steele. Not because of what he did in my homie Melvin Taylor, but he made a lot of mistakes. So you got some referees that are not fair. They roll with your punches. If they don't let we know, and I believe this group, you and your fans will say I'm wrong, but I believe he stopped that fight with Melvin Taylor because he had a lot of run-ins with Luduva over the years on other Luduva fights that he refereed on national television. He had run-ins with Luduva. It's my personal opinion. I don't have no proof on it, but I believe in my heart that he stopped that fight. Not because he was close to Don. I believe he stopped that fight because of all the run-ins he had with Luduva and Georgie Benton over the years. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't have no proof. That's why he did it. But that's why I think Richard stopped that fight. With 2 seconds left, you can keep talking. Are you all right? And the 2 seconds is gone. And the bell rang.
That's one of the biggest controversial. No, that's one of the biggest controversial fights.
What's your take on Richard Steele?
Richard Steele, that fight is so controversial. Every time I watch it, Meldrick Taylor, he got the shit kicked out of him in that fight. He didn't know what was going on. But like you said, Lou Duva jumped in. Richard Steele, he didn't control it that night. He should have just kept total control, kept him at the count, looking at Meldrick Taylor's face. And, when he reached 8, it would have been continue or stop the fight. But, Lou Duva's jumping up in the ring. He lost his cool.
And you're right. If Richard Steele would have kept talking for 2 more seconds, the bell would have ring. He could say, you all right? 2 more times. You all right, Cam? You all right, Cam? Then that's over.
But Leon, Meldrick was never the same after that fight.
Well, we know that.
Never the same.
Now, I'm going to ask J.Marie. You remember, everybody in the chat room, do you remember when Richard Steele had his hand on Melvin's chest, talking but looking through the ring? Did y'all ever see a girl stand up and bow her head? Can y'all tell me who that girl was? Who the world said that girl was? I know who she was, but I ain't gonna say. But can y'all tell me who the world thinks you were.
No, I want to go. I want to see that. Who was it?
Now, if you watch the fight closely, but Ricky still had his hand on chest,
Yeah.
he looked through the rope, and the girl stood in the middle and bowed her head. A lot of people say who it was, and a lot of people say, but they don't know for sure who it was.
Who was it? Tell us.
Now, a lot of people want to say it was Debbie King. Think about it now. It's speculation. Mike had just lost a couple weeks earlier, and Shad Bears was his second catch cow. He didn't have no, those only two catch cows he had was Mike and Shad Bears. And Mike had just lost to Buster, and they're going through the controversy with the IBF, WBC, and WBA. Now, I'm not saying it was her. You know, I'm from the corner. I ain't no rat, I'm from the corner.
Wait, wait, wait. But it was who? Who was?
A lot of people said it was the girl that worked for him. Because he couldn't afford to lose two cash cows back to back. So what do y'all think about that?
Makes sense. You know, I mean, Leon, how many? That's just one of the million crooked things that happen in boxing. And unfortunately, that was just a huge event. But it makes sense. She tried to cover her face.
It shows people the stuff that happened. Now, a lot of people are saying they wouldn't take that version I just explained, y'all, but they'll take the other version that Richard Steele did it because of all his controversy with Luduva shouting at him over the years. He did it to hurt Luduva. So, and you know, it could go either way. He was wrong. And plus, he might have been told to do it. You keep in mind, he was a black gay dealer for one of them casinos that was controlled by the Chicago underworld. Alleged. So you never know. You look at all the dirt that's been in this game down through the years. So when you look at the game, you look at the players, and like J.Marie said, when I watch the fight, I want to know the promoter, I want to know the referee, and I want to know the players.
And the judges.
I hear that.
I mean, I'm telling you, try it. Try it the next fight. Do your research, you know, on that fight. Okay. And it's great to talk about it before, it's great to talk about it after, but the beauty of it is to know beyond a shadow of a doubt which way that fight is going to go.
And you're right, Jay. Before you came in, we mentioned a little bit about the upcoming Tank Davis fight.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We know, you and I know the players in that camp.
Right.
We know, now I heard today through my New York connection that it's a co-promotion. It's not all PBC. Now, we know that the Barclays Center is owned by the Guineas now. No longer the rest is owned by the Guineas. So the movers and shakers, so PBC going to have to answer to the players in New York and the New York Commission, who me and Ryan know very well love, Matt, he's a Guinea. So you know he's going to be told what to do from downtown, how to run it. Because, you know, it is what it is. So, like you said, Jay, the players, it's a big show coming up. Can't do bring them out. Can't do bring out the players, the thieves, the pimps, the whole, he do bring them out. I got to give him that credit. He do bring them out. So, it's a big promotion. But is it the right promotion to have this fight? Now, there's rumors going around that Al Heyman shot Sam Watson in Florida. You know he went to Florida. They said somebody specifically saw some video Sam coming out of Don's office. Who knows? Was Don in the background now? That's what I said. They was talking to Lou DiBella again, who used to be his partner. We all know Lou DiBella's a New York promoter, and his brother Italian and he used to be a lawyer for HBO. So like you said, Jay, it's about the players.
Mm-hmm. Leon, somebody has a
So what
question
you
for
think
you.
about the Titans?
Man, I told you earlier, I think it's a trash fight myself. I think Tank should be fighting way better caliber fighters. But it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. Boxing goes on. Somebody just asked you a question, Leon. Somebody asked. I think they're talking about your fighting career. Can you talk about your hardest fight? The hardest fight Leon Muhammad had.
With Chuck Wepner in 1973.
Wow.
Chuck
Tough
Wetton.
fight, hard fight. But see, Bruce, see, like Jay said, the fighter got to put in the work. See, I didn't put in the work like I taught the Timmy and all the guys I work with to put Michael Spence to put the work in. I was the guy, hey, you call, if the Timmy's call, I'm ready to go. What time? Same airport. So if I would have put the work in, I probably would have got a lot of more memorable fights today. But I was in a lot of camps. That Leonard Robinson camp with Norton Hurdy, with Cleveland Williams, and all the old timers. It was good. But Chuck was tough. He was too tall. Chuck had that roundhouse punch. He would hit you. Chuck would hit you anywhere he could hit you.
He hit you behind the head too. He hit you with them rabbit punches behind the head. He was famous for that, Leon, wasn't he?
Chuck was good for that. I still feel it. I still feel that right punch. That was 1973. I still feel it. And I love Chuck. He's not well now. Chuck is sick now. I got to go over to Hoboken one day to see Chuck. He still owns the bar. His son runs it now. So every now and then he'll come to the bar and have dinner. I have lunch with some of the old timers. Chuck is a good guy, man. He's a good guy.
All right,
But
Christopher.
Chuck was tough. He was tough. The toughest guy, people want to say, the toughest guy I work with, I want to say, the kid out of Philadelphia. He was smaller than me at times, but Hal Johnson could punch, man.
Harold
I worked with
Johnson.
Hal could punch. And when Hal had one heavyweight fight, Hal could really punch. He would be small as he was, he good speed, those were the good days. The days Bruce, the guys don't put in the work. And I would put in the work with them guys and listen to my trainer Sam Solomon, who trained the former champ of the world, the late champ until now. I might have been all right. But now, I'm just sitting back at 81 years old, working with my partner, my nephew, with the World Boxing Bureau. We got a title fight coming up in Albany, New York, January 18th. So I'm just laying back, we moving. Coach say got the gloves, we're moving. And our main goal is to give this belt to younger fighters and to aging fighters that never got this shot. So, the champion today, champion tomorrow. That's how I'm going, my brother. So Bruce, Top Rank coming back in January. I think Telefimo will come. What do your people think about Telefimo Lopez, Bruce?
Man, I saw Telefimo Saturday night, and he seemed kind of desperate right now. Telefimo can't seem to get a fight. He named the obvious names. He named Jerron Boots Ennis. He named Tank Davis, and he named Ryan Garcia. I'm sorry, he named Bud Crawford. So
Oh,
he was
I was going to
calling
say Ryan Garcia.
Bud Crawford, but it's all money fights. It's all they're fights that are going to put big money in his pocket, and that's the way fighters are today. They don't want to fight the best in the division. They want to fight the marquee names.
Yeah, they want to fight the person that's on the dollar bill. That's the problem. They're afraid to move up in
They don't want to
the
work for
ranks.
it.
Yeah,
They don't
exactly.
want to climb the ladder. They want to get right to the
Right.
top.
And if you think about it, going back to why we're all here, this is a man who waited 15 years for a shot at the title. Imagine being the number one contender in the world for 15 years.
Yes, he was.
That's
Yes,
the
he
Wow.
was.
mongoose.
That's longer than most fighters' careers. Sometimes twice as
Exactly.
long as most fighters' careers.
And as a boxer, you can age quickly in those
Mhm.
15 years.
True, man.
But the problem,
So, you know,
but
so these guys don't even want to wait 2 years and they want to fight one time a year. This is a man that fought twice in one day.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore. There's not even a chance of anybody. They threw the Molo away. You know, when Archie Molo was born, that was it.
but you
He
gotta
fought for
also
$10 a round.
if that is listening, y'all gotta look at this. In your late father's day, may he rest in peace. His team couldn't go to court like Marvin Hagger's team went to court and made Bob Aaron give him a shot at Peter Anafermo. So your father didn't have them necessarily during them days of the Jim Crow law that Marvin Hagler had.
Right.
What the missionaries took Bob Aaron to court, and the United
Yep.
Senate made Bob Aaron give him a shot at Peter Anafermo, but Bob Aaron still screwed him. He had his people give it a draw, and Vito kept the title. The Jimmy told Aaron, make it a draw, and we keep the title. So either way it goes, what the person that it did might have been good for boxing, but in your father's day, the fighters like him, Cleveland Williams, they didn't, and Eddie Charles, they didn't have that luxury of nobody taking them to court and making them give them a shot. Your father didn't have
Exactly.
that.
So in the
So,
mongoose's mind, what he did was he called on the fans. Okay? He didn't get a promoter, he didn't get an attorney, he called on the fans. So he took to the media. He became his own social media machine
And this is
way back
amazing.
when.
How many letters did your dad write to these
He
newspapers?
wrote 35 letters a day,
This is not emails. This is not no text.
right? This is longhand. This isn't even typing, you know.
I used to see
And
them. I said, Champ, don't get ready at the old country boy Leon. Did you got arthritis to write all the letters? He said, smile. I said, that's your father, very boy time. I said, Champ, don't get ready at the old country boy Leon. When you got arthritis to write all the letters, he just smile. That's a lot of letters.
but you feel me? You see what I'm saying? It's like, who does that? You know, it's like, I'm gonna write and I'm
And
gonna put it out there, and then and so the journalist would print half the letters. Oh, another letter from Archie. Another letter from Archie. No, and then finally, the fans said, "We want to see this fight," and that was the
Unbelievable.
one against Joey Maxim.
I
Yep.
mean,
I mean, that's like Shawshank Redemption. Keep writing the letters to the senator, and you got the money to build the library. I mean, it's persistent, but that's just amazing. 35 letters a day. I mean, even when I was in detention, when I was in fifth grade, they wouldn't make us write 35. That's just mind blowing.
listen, when I had Leo this Martin, but when he was getting, when the late Cameron, who I love dearly, as I love his whole family, was getting George Palmer ready. When I had Leo this Martin from Philadelphia down there in the camp, I used to always ask him at the camp, you got all the letters? He just smiled. That's a lot of writing, 35 letters a day. It ain't no, he was writing no one line, right, J.Marie? He was writing whole letters, right, baby?
Oh yeah, and he would explain his case. This is who I am. This is
So
what I do. I mean,
that's
and
why
he
I
kept
say,
writing, and it would be to different, be it,
that's a lot of writing.
yeah,
35 letters a day.
sure,
So that's why I said what I said. He had to get his response from the people. Marvin Hagler got his response from the courtroom.
from the courts.
So, so Aaron being the snake guy, Bob and I go back. I still do business with Bob from time to time through Bruce Cameron and Brad Booker. But I will say this, they took the personalities Being the guineas that they are, they chose not to go the other way. They chose to take Am to court. So day one, the court and the Senate demand Am to give him a shot at catching Murray. But the court couldn't control the judges and the referees. So Am said, all right, you took me to court, I got something for you. That 15th round, all the judges get him down the front row. And that
That's
locked up the
right.
floor.
Because they're in his pocket. I mean, he's there in his pocket.
So you took this man's court. Here's a powerful promoter. Here's a promoter, a judge. Here's a promoter, a lawyer that used to work for Bobby Kennedy. You think some guy from Newark, New Jersey, and some greaseballs that own a gym in Boston going to out hustle him? He told them, oh, you weren't in the courtroom, but you came with the ring. So I got you. And, you know,
And he also had Tip O'Neill from the Senate, and he had
Oh,
another.
yeah.
He had who's the other Massachusetts senator? Tip O'Neill was one of them, and I'll think of it in a second. But yeah, he had the politicians. Teddy Kennedy. There we go. I was thinking Robert Kennedy for some reason. That nuts in my head, but Teddy Kennedy, yes. And they pretty much.
Robert Kennedy had been going 12 years in 1980. Robert Kennedy has been going 12 years.
No, I'm talking about Robert Kennedy Jr. He's going to be in charge of our medicine pretty soon, Leon. We better know that.
Okay, we can't even go there.
Oh man, I could do a whole 3 hours on that topic, right from the first cabinet member. Oh damn, and oh yeah, I gotta shut. This is boxing over here. I gotta shut my mouth.
Let's take a reset. When you watch these fights or go to these fights, you got to know the players. If you're spending your hard-earned money, not saying it because I love you, Dick, but you're dead right, sweetie. Why waste your money going to these shows or buying these fights if you don't know the players? Because if you know the players, then you can sum up the outcome. Now, I only went to a lot of Don shows because I was involved. Had I not been involved, I wouldn't know what the Don show because I know the outcome of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I never bought a Julian Jackson show because I know Julian Jackson he was a good knockout artist. Like in my early shows, I didn't go to my early shows. I got the sparring partners for Jimmy Jacobs and Bill King. But why would I go? Because I know the kid was a serious puncher. Why would I waste my time and go with the cat skills with Bob and Lorraine Miller? So, like she said, Booster, you and all your fans, J.Marie and whoever's out there, it's about the players of the game.
Mm-hmm. Somebody has another question for you, Leon. Leon, somebody has another question for you.
I always told people that the fight game is worse than the dope business and the hope business. This is a cold, dirty game, man. This game is cold.
And you forgot the last line.
You give a guy 100,000, you can count a guy for 100,000.
Shit, right?
And he'll go behind your back and sign with a lawyer for 300,000 and bring you back 140. So you made 40 for 2 hours. You ain't mad, but you got to free 40.
Nope.
That's how this team goes. They always say in the street, fighters are worse than a horse. Fighters are just like a horse. Who got the most money? And no disrespect to you, J.Marie, because you're a good woman. You're my buddy. I'm just saying. It's a cold thing, man.
Oh, and you know now it's real.
The game is more coded today. A lot of people said the game was better when the mob ran it.
That's what they say, yeah.
What's your take?
I'll tell you, it was a lot better for the fans when the mob ran it, and if you ask me. But you know, I grew up with boxing in the 80s, the late 70s, the 80s, and you know that was the era that I loved the most. And it seemed like when Don King ran it, Bob Arum ran it. I think the mob was getting kind of pushed out of it in those days. What do you think?
Yeah.
You know, corporations were more moving in, the casinos, the Steve Wynn's.
Well, yeah, and they started having more money than the mob. So once you have more money than the mob, you are the one that's controlling boxing. Like back in my dad's day, when the mob was controlling it, here was your deal: either you were for them or you were against them. You know, you either worked with them or not.
And what?
And a lot of people said, well, Archie, how come, you never got involved with the mob? You wouldn't have had to wait 15 years, different things like that. And he said, I didn't mess with the mob, and the mob didn't mess with me. And I was fine with that. But all the rest of them that people say about all these great, and I'll go there. Sugar Ray
You know,
Robinson, you know, Ezra Charles, Sonny Liston, all of them were with the mob.
They give you an
Most of the
option to
guys, and then
refuse.
I mean, even my dad was part of Murderers Row, but nobody says that. They don't say it. So
you know what? A lot of those guys that were doing your father's area. I say this because you know I love Papa, you and your sisters. But I say this, baby, because a lot of those fighters that doing your father, they were in the deer fort in the backwoods of Mississippi doing them Jim Crow laws, saying here and there. You know, they were the last. But your father persevered and rose to the top. That's why he's well talked about today because of the journey that he did to the light heavy championship. And often, was the last time, but a few years ago, one of the Petronelli's sons was at a top rank show at Turnstone. They had a little 6-round kid on the card. I was talking to Petronelli, to Goody's son. And we were talking. He said, you was around in the old days up the other line. He said, I remember you used to come up here with Boogaloo Watts. You worked with Boogaloo Watts and all them out of Philly, Birmingham. I said, you know what? The mistake that your father and them made, that I believe in my heart, and I tell you, and I told your father before he passed, and may he rest in peace, they never should have took AM to court. He said, why? He said, that's how we got the shot. I said, that's how y'all lost the shot. That y'all, the way that you turn, where did AM call y'all, so that y'all putting Teddy Kennedy on him, but y'all didn't know that AM is protected by the Kennedy, that he worked for Teddy's brother. He was Teddy's brother's top lawyer in the Attorney General's office. So do you think that he was going to go get his brother's number one guy to help you? He did it to save his face, but he also knew that he was going to help his brother fans screw you. So that's how I look at it. Like you said, Jay, it's about the players. Look at the old Madison Square Garden. The old players are gone now. The old players. This guy Jim Dolan, he ain't no player. All he care about people in the seat. People said the God is no longer the Mecca, but I still think the God.
yeah. I mean, and that's another thing. You weren't anybody if you didn't fight in the garden.
Yeah, that was the Mecca.
Period. Point blank.
Exactly.
I don't care what you did. I don't care what your record was. The way boxing looked at you was on your merits of had you stepped foot in that garden. Period.
See,
But that's no more though. That's history.
And I
That's
said to my
yesterday.
partner Ryan, and I said to Bruce and Tim, and my former champion Tim Witherspoon, the major fighters are not going to the garden because the casino is giving these promoters too much.
Yeah.
And these promoters, if you gonna bring me a fight, and I'm giving you everything, so why take to New York where I got to pay for everything? So I understand.
Yeah, but they're going to Barclays, Leon. They're going to Barclays.
Yeah,
Why doesn't Tank go to
I
Madison
mean,
Square Garden?
but don't you think, Bruce?
The Mecca, the Barclays didn't have Robinson, Frazier, Lewis, Holyfield,
No.
Ali, Ray Robinson.
Yeah.
You can't put the Barclays in the conversation.
But Tank is going to the Barclays. Why?
It doesn't matter. Tank is going, so he's going to the Barclays.
Well, why doesn't?
He's been there before.
Well, my question is.
Going to the Barclays.
I don't think you understand my question. My question is, why wouldn't Tank demand to go to the Garden, get some legacy, say that he's fought in Madison Square Garden
Oh,
and
see that part. You know why? You know
also
why?
got to understand the players, like Jay said. And got Jim Dolan is a friend of Bob Aaron. His father was a friend of Bob Aaron. They're all friends of the Kennedy family. Al Heyman is not in that class. He can't get to God. Now, if Lou DiBella was still his partner, Lou would get to God because Lou could go downtown and get the order. Jim Dolan, you owe us a favor. Get this guy to God for us. And we knock off the market that you owe us. Al don't have that. He don't have that. And his right hand man, his brother-in-law, Dan Goosen lies on. And Dan Goosen's brother, Joe, who played for George Steinbrenner for the Yankees, George is gone. So they got nobody to make the phone calls for. So you see what I'm saying? It's all like they said, it's all about the player.
Yeah.
Even though should fight the God, he can fill up the God. He got the prayer. He got the God, but you don't have the players to put him in the God.
Okay.
That's the problem. You need to have the players that can convince Jim Dolan to get y'all one night at the God.
But Bruce, just like you said,
The
the boxers can demand it these days.
And one of our guys that went to Harvard with him is a Guinea. He called downtown and got a favor. So it's about a favor. Do I think he should go to the Garden? Possibly. Do I think he should go to Barclays Center? No. I think he should stay home. Move to fight this summer and fight in the stadium of the Baltimore. That's what I think he should do. But it's not my say so. It's not my partner say so. So I'm going right back to what Jay said. It's about the players, Bruce. You're right. But to answer your question, Bruce, his players can't get the ball. Now, if Lou DiBella was still Al's partner, sure, Lou could call downtown and get a favor because he is a Guinea and he's a lawyer for the Guineas. So I got to keep going back to what she said. It's about the players, man. It's about the players.
It's all about the players.
Do you think, Bruce, you and your guest think that is good, that the Barclays Center is going to help his legacy?
Well, I got a strong Tank fan out there, my brother Hardcore Jay. It ain't what you know, it's who you know, he says.
I just said that. What you just said, I just said that.
Exactly.
I just told you the whole story.
Exactly. But I don't know. I never really thought about that until today. Why he's not fighting at Madison Square Garden, because that's the hallowed halls of boxing, and that's where every champion had their greatest. I mean, Madison Square Garden is. Vegas couldn't take Madison Square Garden over. Saudi Arabia is not going to take Madison Square Garden over.
You're absolutely correct,
He
Bruce.
will last long. The Garden going to be there when the Saudi Arabians dead and gone. The boxing history still going to be in the Garden. You can talk about Saudi Arabia all you want. The Garden ain't going nowhere. They've been around forever.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what it feels like to a boxer, any boxer?
But then what you know, who you know? Look at Talafimo. He won the world title at Madison Square Garden. Whether it was upstairs or downstairs, he can tell his son, your father won the championship at the Mecca of the world. Whether it was upstairs or downstairs, he won the title at Madison
That's
Square
exactly
Garden.
what I was going to say. Can you imagine what it feels like, to go to Madison Square?
Up on 10. When you call out these guys, Bruce, you made a statement earlier. I heard it, everybody heard it. You said that Tank can't fight nobody. But today's time, it's about who. It ain't like the old days. There's no Bruce, they hardly ever go to first field now. So whoever putting up the money for this fight, they, like Ali said years ago, when can't rest in peace, it's a lot of pain. If a guy, a corporal more thinkable enough to put up the money for that guy to fight out of Washington, and Tank getting what he wants, him and his people, Calvin Davis, they're gonna take the fight. You and I may not like the fight, Bruce. We didn't say he should fight Shakur, Devin, or somebody. But somebody got to put up the money for these guys. So he found somebody to put up the money for this guy out of DC. So people must think well of this guy. Like years ago, we know that Ron Stanton out of Iowa could be Joe Player, but somebody saw enough of Ron Stanton to put up $350,000. So like she said, it's about the players.
You're right, man. You know, I'm learning more and more about boxing by the day. I'm so old school. I just want the best to fight the best, but it doesn't happen like that.
We all want the best, Bruce, but sometimes you can't get the best unless you're in a position to pay for the best. And them guys, okay, say you do Tank and Shakur. Shakur won about 10 or 15. Tank gonna won about 15 here. And don't think. You gotta understand, the big four today are not like the big four yesteryear. They can sell out and make it themselves. You don't, the big four today are not like Marvin, Roberto, Tommy, and Marvin Hagler, and Sugar. Those were the big four of yesteryear. But the big four today, they don't draw like them guys. They are good, great fighters. They're going to be Hall of Famers, but they don't have the drawing power. Greatest Camacho was during that area. He wasn't part of that. What did he sold? Adversity. Guys, people take our way. We want to go see the Macho Man. We'll see what he's up in. We go back to what my little sister said. It's about the player. So the game today is being sold, not told, Bruce. It's the players today, it's the ones that can play. Don is 93. Did you tell Bruce Am just turned 93 yesterday? Am just turned 93? You got the old players are playing out.
That's
what I think.
That's reality, brother. That's as real as you can get.
Who gonna take it there, Bruce? Who gonna take it there? I mean, I don't know, from my connection, I don't know nobody around Tank that knows Jim Dolan. And then the lawyers that's associated with him and Calvin Davis that can reach out to somebody that can get to Jim Dolan. So they got to know to go to the people that they know. At the Barclays Center where he fought before. And he sold out good there, so the Barclays Center is taking the chance of bringing him back. That's my opinion, Bruce.
No, I hear you loud and clear, man.
So what's your opinion, Bruce?
Hey, you know who else's birthday it is today? Mike McCallum's birthday today.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Hey, are we going to talk tomorrow? I got to eat.
Okay, hey, we've been here for over an hour, man. You know, I had no idea we were even going to do a show. Leon asked me yesterday, but he never called me, and bango, we're over here talking some great boxing, getting some history.
I love it. I could do it all day long. I could do it all day long.
Hey.
Listen, Bruce, thank you. But before I go, I want to make an announcement on my behalf in the World Boxing Bureau. Me and my partner, I'm the executive advisor of the World Boxing Bureau. As we took over on a new regime, it's been around 20 years. Our partner, Bruce Billy Mitchell, South Carolina. Our first show is going to be in Albany, New York, at January 18th. So be on the lookout. Bruce, I gotta go. Love you guys. Call me soon, Jay and Bruce. When you finish, send me a copy of the tape.
You got it, brother. You got it. Peace out, man.
Everybody, happy quarantine.
Yeah, Bruce, let me know how to stream this to my audience.
All right, I'll send you the stream on your. I'll text it to you. I'll text the YouTube stream that we did.
So I could put it on Facebook. You know.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, so people will come in and talk to us and.
Well, see, we could have done that before we even started the show, but see, this was so impromptu, J.Marie. We'll definitely do it again. We'll plan it a little bit, and tomorrow's the anniversary. Maybe we could even. I mean, damn, I don't plan these. I don't write any questions down. I don't
Yeah.
have any.
No, I don't do
I
that.
don't sweat it, man. My
Yeah.
dog was running in here biting my leg, and it was just kind of like, I said, well, my wife, put him outside. We'll be cool. But
Aw.
I love this media. I mean, otherwise, how would I meet a sweetheart like you and connect with
Aw,
everybody
thank
out there?
you.
And it's a beautiful thing, my sister. Thank you so much for stopping by here and honoring us tonight. And
You're welcome.
The
Thank
memory of
you.
Archie
Thank you for having me.
26 years ago today. May his soul rest in peace, my sister.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
For sure. Good night.
Okay.
And
Good
everybody
night.
else out there, man, good night. This is Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and Mo. And tonight should be more, More. Jay Hardcore, my brother, man. Thanks for stopping in here. And everybody else. See, I didn't want to interrupt these two cats because I had history over here going on, man. And I didn't want to interrupt Leon. And damn, I got J.Marie Moore. I got two cats that you can go back into the freaking Ring magazines of the 60s and their names are mentioned. And Leon knows everybody in boxing on a first name basis. You think I got a lot of names in my phone book, in my phone. This guy's got I think he's got more names than space for names in there. But anyway, it was an awesome thing, man. De Niro in here, man. Christopher, thank you so much for coming by. Let's see, man. Who else was in there? Mr. Gumbo showed up, man. Thank you so much, my brother. Just Frank, man. Thanks so much for coming in here, man. Carlos, the drunk Irishman. Let's see. Anybody else been in here, man? Jerry Thomas. Oh, JT, bro. The underrated darkness, man. Thank you for coming by, brother. Appreciate it. Over on Facebook, I had my brother Paul Driscoll in here, man. And Yankee Kyle was in here, man. Mike Johnson, my good brother, the man for a good political talk on here, man. We'll get him on here someday, and we'll talk some politics. I mean, this assassination in New York is just getting deeper and deeper and deeper, man. It's an amazing, unbelievable thing going on here, man. Hardcore Jay, my brother, on every morning. I'm surprised he's up late today. He's got to get to bed. He does a show every day, man. I love the brother. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for coming by. Derek Clark, bro. Thank you so much for coming in here, my brother. My edibles are starting to kick in. I laid off them today. I've been making them like a son bitch lately. And today I laid off them for a while, and I did them around 8, right around the time the show started. Had a killer show, man. J.Marie Moore, the daughter of Archie Moore, and Leon Muhammad. And it's rare to get Leon in a mood like that. Leon was into talking. He was just a fountain of information out there. So anybody that wants to know boxing history, just listen to what this cat says. And if you say you couldn't understand him, well, I could understand him perfectly, man. And I'm a white guy, so don't give me any shit about that. So you had a great education here. Nothing but love from me. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. And I'm gone. Peace.